Okay, everybody, so I'm going to welcome you to our time to cultivate for our teachers the testimonials. And we're going to be sharing some of our highlights and some of our healings and some of our experiences in the way that this course, the Reborn course, has transformed things and helped us in any way to inspire others and to really give back to the Qi field and to our teachers and to each other some of the fruits of and appreciation of what we've experienced or cultivated together. So with that being said, I'm going to ask if anybody is ready to do the first testimonial. Does anyone feel inspired to go first? I will call on someone. No, I won't. I'm just playing. So close your eyes and feel inside and get real calm. And maybe what I'll do is I'll just set a chi field. Does that sound right? Set a little chi field? Okay, it's going to be a quick one because I don't want to take up too much of the time on the teachers. But let's just go ahead and sit down, get your toes on the floor and wiggle them and get real grounded. Feel your toes wiggling. Feel your tailbone going straight down, but your Ming Man just a little bit forward. Just a little forward. And your chin come in and your byway just elevated and lifted up like a buoy on the water. And the spine's just that little rope or chain going down to the bottom of the ocean or the lake. Everything's floating, comfortable. And from there, take a good deep breath in and get your chest to expand out to the horizon and let go on the exhale. And smiling inwardly, smiling in through your eyes. Your ears are smiling inside, and your nose and your mouth. And your throat smiling inside. Feeling your shoulders relaxing, maybe rotate them up, down, and back a couple times. Feeling your heart opening. So wide, so happy to be together, so happy to have this information, so happy to be in the Qi field with our true self, the new master, no longer a slave, being inspired and feeling the joy and the love, the pure love. Feeling our heart opening, expanding, and our lungs opening, expanding, and our chest opening. Our arms relaxing, our elbows floating. The wrist and the fingertips dancing with love. Tingling with good information and energy. Feeling our throat and our neck opening. Feeling our brain so happy inside. Feeling the cerebellum and the spinal cord lighting up with smiles. All the neurons smiling and lighting up all the way down the spinal cord, down our spine, through our whole nervous system. The vagus nerve connecting and smiling to every organ, our liver, our gallbladder, our spleen, stomach, intestines, pancreas, large intestine, small intestine, colon, kidneys. So happy with big bright light, smiling and opening. Feeling our hips and our lower dantian opening and filled up with love and Qi. Feeling our hips relaxing down, down, down. Everything opening up like a bunch of rubber bands that were tight, opening up and unwinding. Feeling the knees, the ankles, the feet, open and down, 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 through the earth to the blue sky below, to the universe, and drawing all that back up. Feeling our head above our head expanding up past the big blue sky, as big as the big blue sky and bigger, to the whole universe, feeling every star dancing with every cell and neuron in our body. Expanding to the Qi field, feeling our Qi field in the universe, Feeling the universe and the Qi field merging, transforming and coming down into our room, clearing our room. Feeling us all become one. The supreme intelligence in the Qi field. Feel that in the center of our head. So pure, so vast. With the awareness and the knowing and the transformation coming into our middle dantian, into our heart, into the center of the center. And comfort and trust and love and joy and peace. And then feeling that come down to our lower dantian, deep inside. Merging and transforming everything back to Zhineng Qi and our Qi field. Let's let our palms come out to the horizon in front of us and scoop from every direction all the pure Zhineng Qi, pure consciousness, Yuanti, deep inside. Put palm on top of the belly, on top of the navel. For men, left palm first, for women, right. And just circle in for a moment. Ground in deeply, feel your hips go down further, relaxing more. Your chin and your spine, so much space in between. Relax. All is Hala, already healed. With the inner smile, go ahead and relax and let your palms go to your side and slowly open your eyes. And then close your eyes. And open your eyes again, slowly. And come back. Come back to the group. All right, so is anybody now ready, feeling comfortable with a testimonial? Jeremy, did you say yes?
I'll do it.
You'll do it. You're going first. Okay. Thank you.
I'm Jeremy, and I was introduced to this form of Qigong through a friend here, Cynthia, who's joined the group. And when I first tried it, it's a YouTube video of one of Ling's classes from 2017. I wasn't ready for it. I tried it and it made me very restless. My body shook. I became very anxious. I wasn't ready. So through some other practices and other Qigong practices and breathing exercises introduced by another friend, a mutual friend, I think I became ready for it, which was just a few weeks ago. Meanwhile, I did all this because I think all of us tend to search for these type of solutions or therapies when we're in need. And so I was diagnosed with cancer not that long ago, back in March. And so I adopted these practices. But this particular practice I found was much deeper and much more deliberate, if you can say that. And I found it to be more challenging mentally and spiritually. And coupled with that, I've been dealing with some things from my past that were deeply hurtful and manifesting. And oddly enough, yesterday, they went away. I got an email from that friend old friend that I had hurt very deeply, and that is all gone now. So this has been a healing journey for me, and parallel to this, it appears that the cancer that I'm dealing with physical challenges that I'm dealing with are all moving in a very positive direction, and clinically and mentally. Physically, I'm still dealing with stuff, but we're going to work on that. And I'm just so grateful to be here and that I found my way here and found all of you to in this community. And I'm just very grateful. And I just want to add one thing. When I did hear Ling's video for the first time, it resonated with me. Like it was a voice I knew, and it's almost like you want to be, I felt like I wanted to be cradled by that person, but I wasn't ready. So I wasn't ready at first, but now I'm ready. And so I'm in. And that's where I'm at.
Okay. How la. Thank you. All right, so go ahead and mute Jeremy, and let me go back to the gallery view and see who's up next.
I'll go.
Zhineng Qi.
Zane here.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Zane, and
Oops, hold on. I muted you. Hold on. Can you unmute yourself, Zane? I was trying to highlight you and unmute you. Sorry.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay.
You're in the spotlight now.
This has been quite a journey for me, this reborn and with the group, and it's much more than I didn't know what to expect. And what I've noticed is that it's brought like a technicolor into my life, where that technicolor is slowing things down and paying loving attention to my enjoyment of life, the flow, rather than an anxiety-driven, reactive, expecting the worst kind of living. It's like I became very aware of the programming that's automatic. Like, for instance, today I'm moving to a new location. I dropped a box that had these paintings in there, and the glass broke. And normally I was aware of my tendency to go down an angry path and probably get cut picking it up and just dreading it. But what I noticed was I joyfully turned it into this game of, like, I got to bend over, open up the spine. I applied all the principles of qigong that we've learned and practiced, and it felt so good going down into the glass and judiciously picking up, like with the hands of a surgeon, picking up these slivers of glass and putting it into this plastic cup. And I actually enjoyed it. And it was like an extension of my qigong practice in life. And that was a big change for me. I didn't have to, I went into my like wisdom body. It was like joy, like a kid, like a child. And I feel that in my approach this past summer, going out and playing in the water and nature and doing the movements when I'm in nature. And so it's like adding this another dimension to my daily life. And waiting in the COVID lines in the grocery stores, I just go into like 3-cent merge and my breathing relaxation, and it becomes like this joyful experience. So it's like my true self, my child, like my magical child self has been given permission to come out and play and experience the joy of the moment. And within that is eternity for me. And it's not a time issue anymore. It's like, it's just this feeling, this joy of life and a savoring of the moment. And so I guess that's my testimonial for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Zane. I know we're all silently howling, everybody, as we're going through this. This is great. Okay, so I'm going to go back to finding you guys in the gallery and get rid of the highlight from Mr. Zhineng Qi. Oops, yeah. And whoever feels like they're next, Goli.
Hi, my name is Goli, and I
Goli,
feel.
can you talk louder?
Can you
Give it a
hear
mouth
me?
out. Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
My name is Goli, and I feel extremely lucky to be part of this group, and really thankful for Kelly to introduce me to this. It's really a gift, a God-sent gift to me, and how she felt exact time that I needed it, it's something else. She has her radars, but I have been suffering from several different problems, physical problems, but the one that has been the biggest issue for me in the past few years that was unbearable is the fibromyalgia that I have, that has a lot of different side effects with it, forgetfulness, insomnia, and a tremendous amount of pain that physically I bear all the time, that sometimes is really unbearable. But to cut the story short, I got introduced to this through Kelly, and it's been only pretty much 2 weeks that I've been part of this. But I really loved and enjoyed it from day one. And I think the amazing part for me is the realization that I came into heal and help myself with the fibromyalgia first, but exactly at the same time that I got into this, a few days before that, I started having this excruciating pain shooting down my leg that was going to my foot, and it was really, really painful. So I contacted my doctor, and he wanted me to get several X-rays from my foot, which I couldn't do because I had to pay all of it out of pocket, and it wasn't doable. But in the meantime, while I've been doing these exercises slowly, I really, much slower than some of you, the entire shooting pain and the pain in my leg and my foot is absolutely gone. And I just suddenly realized this is like, wow, what happened there? And I didn't connect the two at the first. But then I realized this is amazing how not only I got this incredible healing, but how the healing in my body happens the way it has to happen, probably. You know, I make my choice. I want to do this first. This has to happen first, but whatever happened first had to happen. You know, it's just so even though I'm new, I'm little by little realizing that there is a true system to this that goes on. And I am trusting it more than anything and honoring it. And I am truly, and I have to say this, the difference between just the physical, not only the physical, but mental also aspect of this is that I have a lot of challenges right now in my life with people around me and things that is happening, which is really overwhelming. And I think these practices have been also helping me mentally being able to deal with them in a much calmer, better way and more positive way than before. Because before I was in such a fear, anxious, out of my body mode, you know, and really, really not being in my body. I was somewhere else from fear. I just couldn't even stay in my body, I think. And now I can see, I can feel the difference, not only physically, but mentally, which is super, super important. The calmness, the way that that I think, and also the positiveness, you know, that just seeing what happened, it gave me this positive attitude that if this can happen to me, not only it can happen, and to also to the people around me that are going through a very, very challenging time, hopefully, as everybody is ready for it, right? So I want to truly thank you, not only you, Kelly, and the teachers for bringing this to all of us, and also the love and commitment that is behind this every single day. I mean, what Kelly does every day with the commitment of making sure everybody has everything they want, know everything they want, and they're not behind. And I mean, it comes from so much love that by itself, it's healing. Yeah, thank you. I want to thank all of you.
Thank you, Kelly. Paula. Paula. Yay. Coming back to I got teary-eyed finding that gallery here. And then, let's see. Let me unhighlight Goldie. Move your spotlight. Okay, who feels like they're ready now? Annie?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to spotlight you.
Like each of you, I am so grateful for Kelly reaching out to me for taking this series of classes with Ling and Lu. So first to Kelly, second to Ling and Lu, because I haven't really been with teachers that I felt this kind of soft love. And I think we talked about that the other day. There's a softness in their teaching that's just as firm as if you were talking more loudly. And in that teaching, there is the community and the huge chi field. And because of all of this coming together, it's making a change. I'm not just sure what it is. And the one big takeaway that he may have said it more than once is from Teacher Lu, that we could have been practicing for years, but if our mind goes off in certain directions, we're not getting the full benefit. So I think for me, this is one of the biggest practices of keeping my mind right here when I'm practicing and not thinking about, uh-oh, I should be doing this in a few minutes. So thank you.
Thank you so much. How about? Okay, going back to the gallery. And we do have one comment from Erin. And would somebody mind reading that for Erin? Looks like Adrian's ready to do that, so
Sure.
you can highlight.
So Erin says, I am ever so grateful to be a part of Reborn and small group. I have learned so much in the last few months. The practices have grounded me and made me a better person. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks, Adrian and Erin. While I have you on, Adrian, do you just want to go? Are you into? I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm not sure what I'm going to say, so we'll just see what happens. So kind of coming off what Annie said, when Ling and Lu have talked about people who have been practicing for many years, but I think that kind of identifies me as somebody who's been practicing for many years, definitely had some, you're welcome, Erin. Basically, I had some definitely healing and improvement and gain. So that kept me going for the last, I would say, probably 12 years. But I had the sense that there was something that was missing and I wasn't able to heal at the level that I was wanting to heal at. And so I began searching. And again, we all can thank Kelly. Kelly is a masterful at finding the best teachings. And so I have great confidence in what she suggests. So she suggested this and I have jumped into the course. So a couple of things that I want to say. One thing is I have various health challenges and a consequence of many of them is enormous fatigue. I mean, so much fatigue sometimes that it's hard for me to, just a second, Jimmy, would you get that, honey, so it doesn't keep ringing? Sorry. So anyway, so I have had a lot of fatigue in the past, and with all the stress of all the things that are going on right now, I don't need to enumerate them all. My level of fatigue went up extremely high, and I started getting a lot of other symptoms. Since I've been practicing with the reborn practice, I feel a level of energetic strength in my body that I don't feel like I've had for years. And sometimes it's just like I would be so tired, all I would need to do is just lie down. There would be nothing more for me to do. And I'm not having that. And what's interesting is that when I'm starting to feel some fatigue, my tendency in the past would always be to sleep. I always think, well, I need to go to sleep. But what I've been doing is practicing. And I've been listening to my heart and choosing the practice that feels most aligned with where I am. Every single time, 100% of the time, when I finish practicing, I always have more energy. And so what this practice is teaching me through experience is that I can be the master, and I don't need to be the slave of all of my worrying, tense thoughts. One of the things also in doing this practice, because it's so soft and so gentle and so loving, is that I have discovered that I carry a certain level of tension in my body 24/7, all the time. There's a certain kind of tension, and this is beginning to unwind and release. And I'm sure that as that happens, healing will be more effective as more energy can come in and the tension and the blockages will dissolve. So I feel like this is that, what I might say, magic bullet that I've been looking for. And I don't want to in any way belittle what we have here together with all of us, because I feel like that's at least 50% of the benefits that I'm getting is what we do when we support each other this way and the way we practice together. I don't believe that I would be doing what I'm doing if I didn't have the support of this group. And the other thing I want to say is all the extra teaching, Kelly, that you do with the illustrations that you show us, and all of those things have made my practice so much more alive and viable for me. So I feel eternally grateful. And I guess the last thing I would say is I trust. I have trust that this is a path. And I don't know where it's going to take me, but I trust that this is a good path for me to follow. And so I feel very excited about that, and excited about going on the journey with all of you lovely people that are here with me. So, hello, that's what I want to say.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you. That's beautiful. All right, so I will unspotlight Adrian. Poof. See how powerful. Okay, so who feels like they're ready to go now? Tammy, and then Cynthia.
Hi, so I am Tammy, and I'm 52 years old, a mother of 3, and just a little bit of my background. I have always been extremely active, very high energy person. I own businesses and, run families and on school boards, and just always been extremely active. So about 2.5 years ago, and I've also experienced, I would say, a moderate level of trauma in my life. This all manifested honestly, about 3.5 years ago. And 2.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with ALS and Lyme disease, and a few other minor things compared to those two. And so I've never had any experience with Qigong because, you know, that this level of, I don't know, I've never even considered energy healing or anything like that. Kelly and I were talking today, and, you know, I would get up at 6 in the morning and hit the pavement by 6:30 and have 5 miles in under my belt by 7:30 and be at work and go till late and come home and manage a home and kids. So since I was diagnosed, obviously I was looking for some different outlets, and I did experience some Qigong, Spring Forest Qigong, it was last summer, so a little over a year ago, in just a very light level class at my yoga studio. There were a couple of teachers that were there that taught for about 4 weeks, a couple of days a week. So I connected with that immediately. I knew that there was something there for me. And so since then, I did do some YouTube, just Spring Forest, Qigong, and found Kelli in May, I think. I'm trying to think back. May of this year. And she introduced me to this course that was getting ready to start in June, this reborn course. So I was extremely excited and grateful and have been practicing since June. And just in the last couple of weeks, and I have to say, my symptoms have been weakness primarily on my right side. My gait was affected early on. That's the first thing that I noticed, was slight drop foot on my right side, right foot, and has progressed up to my right arm and hand. So I could not, my shoulder actually got to the point where it felt like it was dislocated, and I couldn't really raise it, you know, above here. And if I was trying to do anything, it was like here. And I'm here now. And, you know, I still feel a little bit, it's not 100%, but it's 90%. And, I can't tell you how happy and thrilled I am about that. In my gait, I have balance issues as well. So I'm seeing a tiny bit of improvement with balance. And mechanically, even with my foot. My hand is still a little wonky, but I honestly have felt some strength there just recently. So I wanted to say that, you know, early on, it took me a while to just settle into this, just to understand and open up, and like Adrian said, I'm not a truster, I'm a manipulator, I'm a controller, because that's what I've done, you know. So to be able to settle in and start to trust this practice and what it does is just now starting to manifest the improvement. And not only physical, but for me, it's emotional and spiritual. So it's just, I'm just so incredibly grateful. And yeah, Kelli, I can't say enough about you and what you mean to me and what you've done in my life, and the time you take out separately from the group to just give to me is incredible. And I feel like you and I, and we've talked about this, we are very, very similar, and even our symptoms and everything that has happened to us has been has paralleled. So I'm just so thankful, so incredibly thankful. And I feel like the meditation aspect holds the key for me personally. And that's something that I have never done either in my life, is meditate. So I'm learning. Today I had a nice, for the first time, a deeper level experience with that. So just so much love and gratitude really for each and every one of you. I've said this, but I look so forward to this time every day, and it's just brought so much to me emotionally, and I'm so thankful. And Kelli, feel free to ask me some questions. I don't know, but I hope I hit on everything.
Oh, fun. Okay, I wasn't ready for that. So let's see.
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Let's roll with it.
That might not be, but yeah. I mean, if there's anything else I need to share, but I think I got my stuff.
Yeah, I think maybe I just want to touch on, like, when I noticed that when you came into the trust and then you dove in all the way, like, you know, once you got the confidence, and that's why I think these testimonials are so big too. And so once that happened, it seemed like a lot of your symptoms started to improve. So I was wondering if you could just talk about, like, what happened when you had a shift where all of a sudden things started, you just applied a little bit more deeper, and then the fruition, how quickly that came, the results.
Yeah, and I think it was quickly, but also it's also been subtle, you know, the change as well. So I mean, just even in the second block, I was still, you know, trying to get it. And I think you're the one that kept saying, you know, you have to trust, we just have to trust and rest in that. And I heard it, but, you know, it just took a while for me to resonate with that. And now when I practice, that's what I do. And, you know, sometimes the practices are not, I don't feel great. Sometimes they're, you know, I feel more stiff and more, you know, balance wise, I'm having to concentrate more. But I can say, and just like I think it was Adrian that said, 100% of the time after practice, I feel a difference. And so I think just little by little, that has been able, you know, to manifest. And like I said, I mean, I'm not 100% there, but this is just huge. And being able to, you know, do this and not have the dislocation, feel like your bones are just popping out, has been amazing. And, you know, it's, my shoulder is functioning again as far as not having the pain as well. So yeah, just, it's been, for me, it's just been a very, very gradual, you know, 5 months, June, July, August, September. Yeah, 4 months now, of just, you know, practicing every day and a lot of practice, but just starting to settle in really to where I think the healing can manifest truly. And like I said, I feel like for me, tapping into the subconscious is going to be huge.
Allah. Thank you, Tammy. Allah. Such an honor to be on this journey. All of you, just such a deep love. I'll remove that spotlight, and I think, Cynthia, are you ready still? You feel comfortable now? Okay, I'm going to spotlight you.
Superpower. Hi, everyone. I'm Cynthia, and I am new to this group. I am new to this Reborn series, and I would say relatively new to Ling and Lu. I've been finding things on the internet and weaving that into my practice, but I have been practicing Zhineng Qi for, God, close to 8 years now, I think. almost every day. And just to summarize, my journey, I was largely housebound for the greater part of a decade. Chronic fatigue syndrome, someone mentioned fibromyalgia, dysautonomia, all those names that nobody can say, and that Western medicine has very little to offer in terms of remedies. I myself am actually an internist. I'm trained as an expert in chronic conditions. And so when I found myself with these conditions that I didn't actually believe existed, it was an existential crisis as well as a health one. So the journey led me down from internal medicine to integrative and functional medicine, which is what I now practice. It also led me into intuitive medicine. As a huge skeptic, that was a really big leap that I kind of went into kicking and screaming. And it was on this journey that actually my midwife, who I think some of you know, Yeshi Newman, had introduced me to Zhineng Qi wisdom healing Qigong. And, and I started practicing, and first it was 15 minutes twice a day, from the couch, and then it gradually, I can stand, and I'm not dizzy anymore. I don't have any vertigo. That's a miracle. I kept going. So I was really practicing about 45 minutes a day and slowly seeing, results. And it would motivate me to practice. And then I was, I was out of the house. I was back to work, raising my kids, living a semi-full life, but I would say highly managed. I can't remember how many different kinds of foods I wasn't eating, how many supplements I was taking. It was like laborious, but it was well worth it. Right? I had nothing. I was going to do whatever it took to get my health back. But I had a second health crisis about 3 years ago, and this was at the height of my, learning everything that I knew. So I was really left with no answers except, there's Qigong, I can practice. So I actually began practicing about 3 to 4 hours a day. And then another piece of this journey was also my spiritual, or, I guess a spiritual journey. I was raised evangelical in the heartland of Texas. And a lot of it was sort of trauma wrapped together with love, and had left actually organized religion for a long time. So during the second health crisis, it was very strange because that wasn't something that my conscious mind wanted. I actually went back to my natal religion, but understanding Christ as energy, as, healing energy, basically this grand, Qigong master, and doing healing that way, and having experienced it myself, I felt like I understood a little bit of it. So the Christ journey and the Qigong journey, the second time around, are kind of interwoven. And so, I call it my Qi Christ, and connecting to the Qi Christ whenever I practice. But it was, the second journey was, the healing trajectory was like this. And it was basically, classified as a radical remission. And so it completely changed my understanding of not just healing and what was possible, but actually of Qigong. And I realized in hindsight that what I had been doing before, even though I was very dedicated to the practice, was very transactional. It was like, I will practice as long as I feel like I'm getting better. Or I will practice as long as, it helps me cope with stress. And the second time when I dove really deep, I actually wasn't even focused on healing. I was just connecting, to the Qi field, and healing actually happens as a side effect. And so it is, it's something that I now prescribe to every single one of my patients. And it's, basically a requirement, because I just see the power, not just of the, the healing Qi field, but of self-empowerment, of people connecting to themselves, that nothing else can really do. As far as Ling and Lu and this, so I've watched two of the watched and participated in 2 of the sessions from block 3. And what I love also is, is exploring different and being introduced to new teachers in Zhineng Qi, because it's the same method, it's the same theory, it's the same grandmaster, and yet everyone kind of has their own personality, their own perspective, and their interpretations of the methods and the practices and the theories. And so I feel like it's like looking at this light going through this prism, and suddenly I can see all these different colors. And each time I'm introduced to a new, powerful teacher, that I'm just seeing another color of the rainbow that helps me actually understand what my limitations are. Oh, I was limited in seeing this perspective. And I would say the thing that's deepened the most for me is through not just the meditations, but the practice and the way that it's practiced is emptying. Is self-emptying, and that's, and that's of course is the whole Christ message too. It's just self-emptying, and then you allow the chi field to fill yourself up. So I get to a really profound, I don't even want to call it hypnotic state, but qigong state when I've been practicing along with the recordings, which for me is very powerful with the recording as opposed to a live teaching and live group. So I'm really grateful to be on this journey with all of you.
Thank you so much, Halabar.
Wow.
Unspotlight that. See if anyone else feels compelled. Give you a moment to feel into it. Linda, are you getting ready to jump? Vivi? Okay.
Yes.
I'll have my loving Vivi. Here we go. Here we are.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Vivi, can you go really, really loud? You're another one that's the computer for some reason takes it real quiet. Sorry.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, lovely.
Is it okay? Okay. I'm sorry to have been so incognito because I know that I usually have my video off. It's been, this course is reborn. The birth process can be challenging at times, and so I've really had to just kind of disappear a bit into the background. But as so many have said, I appreciate so much this group, and I think Adrian said 50% of this course is the group, and I really feel that myself. And I'm so grateful to Kelli for keeping Adrian and I up on all the different teachers she's been coming across, and giving us this opportunity to really meet Ling and Lu and do this deep work. So many of you said what I could say. Just so you know, I know most of you probably don't know much about me. I've been doing Zhineng Qi for about 14 years, I think now, and teaching for about 13. And I was very struck when Lu said, many people who've done Zhineng Qi and quite seriously and intently and healed themselves, miracle healings. And I'm one of those. I was really, really ill with Lyme disease for 20 years, and I'd given up, and I wasn't taking supplements. I wasn't seeing doctors. And I found Zhineng Qi and I did that. And that's the only thing I did. So I know that that's what healed me, and it did. And in spite of, this so-called miraculous healing, I've continued to have illnesses, and sometimes quite serious ones. And, the Zhineng Qi would help me again, and I'd get over it, and then something else. And when Lu said the reason why that's going on is that the reference framework has not been scrubbed clean, I went, oh my God, that's so obviously true. Something in my unconscious, subconscious is still operating and causing all this. And so I've been very conscious of that aspect of this. And I'm loving the way they talk about the two systems, you know, the ego system and then the true self system. And for some years now, I've had a non-dual teacher who's teaching, of course, very much the same sort of thing as true nature, true self. And somehow this has taken me, I'm not going to say that teacher didn't take me all the way, because he's wonderful. But this is, it's such a sort of practical, step-by-step process you can follow, that if you do, you experience it. And that has been really amazing to me. And I think too, like one of you said, and I've been really enjoying hearing your stories. I think the do nothing meditation is going to be the thing that really I need to focus on. And just like someone said, this morning I had the deepest practice of that, and it was just it was really transformative. And I'm very struck by the title of this, Reborn, because I feel like I and all of us are going through this incredible rebirth experience together, which is so powerful. You know, I think it was Thich Nhat Hanh said, the next Buddha is going to be the Sangha, you know, the community. And it feels so true that that's the way we are going to wake up. It's together. It's not just one or two individuals in the world. And I feel so excited and happy that while I've been flat on the floor most of the time, but that's part of the rebirth, you know, process, absolutely knowing in my gut that what we're doing is happening on the planet, and we're contributing. I mean, that makes me feel so good and so connected to all of you and to all of nature and to all beings and to everybody, even, you know, even the ones that are really hard to love. I just feel their essence, and I feel that being awakened. And it may never show up in those individual people, but something's happening collectively to humanity. And this course feels very much right on track. So that's a little bit that I really wanted to share. And thank you so much, everybody. Kelli, bless your heart, sweetheart. You're huge, enormous, encompassing the whole planet and the universe heart. And I love the way that you have been so inclusive and welcomed everyone, new, old, and in between. And just it's been so precious, the evenings together. I really hope, I got a feeling you said something about this, but I really hope we continue after the course is officially over. We somehow continue this class, because it's so meaningful to me, and I know all of you. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, so I feel like this is more for me than the teachers. It's just, and it's really for all of you. It's just such a gift, this gathering right now. Is there anyone that we've missed? Brenda, do you feel like you want to? I'm putting you on the spot. You said I wouldn't, but I'm a liar.
Yeah. You're our bridge. I've been doing Qigong, I guess, for about
a little louder for us. A little louder, love. 6 or 7 years, I guess. Do I need to correct? Does that change anything? I got you. You're in both. In the midst of that, I was having lower back problems for years and years. And one day I couldn't get out of bed, and I had been doing Qigong for about a year and a half at that point. And I finally, after 40 minutes, got out of bed because I didn't want to pee in bed. And I got to the toilet. I couldn't get off the toilet for 45 minutes. And I decided, okay, I'll go
to the retreat, which I did, and that helped. And I got back to work, and things would go up and down, up and down. I continued the practice, and I think for me, it's more what after I came from the retreat, there was visuals about genetic stuff coming up, and I realized this is more than just having a backache that I was dealing with, because it's the pelvic area. And so I went back to work, and time went on, and I was doing the practice and everything. And I had another episode that went up and down, and then one day it got so bad I ended up in the hospital for 5 days, and that was about 2 years ago, and I haven't been to work since. So I've still been doing my practice, but it was hard to get inside as much as I needed to, because I was paying attention to the practice and the energy. There was too much going on outside. So back to Ling and Lu is why I am so grateful, because it's so simple, and the emphasis is on the part of Qigong that I love. It makes it very delicious to me, and it makes it possible for me to go inside where I need to be to take care of the issues that are there. And the only way I know to take care of these issues is to have a really firm connection to the source. And I got ADD, so it's like I need is, when I have so many distractions, it makes it hard for me to be inside. And when Ling and Lu are giving the instructions, it's actually facilitating my descent into my being, which is what I feel like I need. And the encouragement to trust your information, your inner information, and to there's trust, and then there's my brain that's going. Anyway, I really appreciate the quiet and the encouragement to be with our true selves, and I'm just really grateful for that, and for you, Miss Busy Kelly, for helping us and encouraging and providing this incredible bridge to facilitate our journey into our true selves from this chaotic world that we live in, so we can be more effective in how we are living in here, and can facilitate some of the insanity, some of the disorders, some of the disconnect that has made it so painful for so many of us. So thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, so we have one comment. If someone could read for Aaron, please.
Oh, another comment?
You want to read it, Brenda? I just opened up, but you're welcome to read it if you'd like.
No, go ahead.
So this is from Aaron, and it says, Kelly, you have been a gift. From the moment we connected, you have been such an inspiration. That was from Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Beautiful.
Okay, did we get everybody? Are we good here? Okay, so I'm going to go for a little one too. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you. You guys are my inspiration, and I'm going to tell you a couple little known facts that no one knows. And first of all, the teachers don't know that we're meeting every day like this. That's not a requirement of what I was expected to do. In fact, when Ling and Lu had asked me to organize for them for the United States, I said no. Because at that time, I had been practicing Qigong for so long, and I had been up to, 8, 10 hours a day of practice. And at that time, the symptoms that I was experiencing were so devastating that I was telling my Qi family, I don't know how much more I can do this. I felt really like I was giving up. And somehow, I mean, of course, the universe already had the answer, but, you know, Tammy called me and just out of nowhere, and then Erin called me and said she saw my YouTubes and people needed help, and everyone knows that I'm a helper. And so I started, you know, getting back into it, into my, well, at least I can be helpful today instead of feeling the devastation of the coronavirus and what was going on in the world and all my symptoms. And so to go really through, speed up that through the years I've been in hospice mode several times, and I'm going to snitch on people now, so if I disclose your story, please forgive me, but it's really, it's interesting to see that Vivi was the lead teacher at my first retreat, and Adrian was my first or second breakout teacher, and you know, Zane and I have been Qi buddies for years and years and years, and Annie was at my first retreat, and I've known Goli through another spiritual community for years and years and years, and so this family, you know, you guys, just having this daily thing where we're all together feels to me like this divine synchronization, because it's been so pure. The agenda of our group, this Zoom group, this Monday through Thursday, has been such a heart-based, loving, amazing group. And the reason why I said no to Ling and Lu, besides the fact that, you know, the symptoms were, the whole right side was so on fire and not, I could, the shoulder, the same thing that Tammy has, the shoulder was beyond dislocated. It was dropped, and my belly button had moved over 3 inches on the right, and the hip was really bad, and the knee and the thigh and the foot were so I mean, just to look at them was amazing to see what was going on with them. But worse than that for me was this choking where I felt these tubes in my throat, and I was being choked from the inside out, and there was a vice grip going from the back of my head through my brain that felt like broken razor blades and burning glass and fire. And that was with practicing all the time. And the reason why I practiced all the time was because at least it took the edge off. Because laying down was brutal, going to sleep was brutal, eating was hard, everything was just tough. And so at least if I was practicing, it was better for a moment. And that's why I practiced as much as I did. So that's why I was busy Kelli, because it was too uncomfortable to try to lay down. And so when Ling and Lu had asked me, I had developed this tremor that wouldn't stop in my thumb at that time. And I got this message, like, I can't be busy Kelli, I can't say yes. And I love Ling and Lu. I knew they were my teachers, like Jeremy. I saw them on a video, and I was so blown away at what I saw with their YouTube and their Qi channel video, and I cherished it, and I watched it and practiced it and shared it over and over and over again. And I had the opportunity to go meet Ling and Lu in Canada a few years ago, and what they taught me then that blew my mind was that if you practice with strong Qi, you're going to get hard results. And it explained to me why I was in fetal position. Hiromi, who's not here right now, but she's been to a lot of retreats where she would just send me Qi through the whole retreat because you could just see the pain all over the place. And I've got a poker face. Like, I can pretend like things are good and you don't know I'm in pain. So it was oozing out. I couldn't even keep my poker face on. Like, I couldn't even pretend or use all my positive juju to try to, you know, paint it on. I've been in pain crises that have had me on the floor for weeks and weeks and weeks, especially after retreats. And when I went to Ling and Lu's first retreat, I didn't have that pain crisis for the first time. And it was only a week that I was there, or 2 weeks in Canada, I don't remember now. But when I started to learn about this softer Qi, I was thrilled. And I was also organizing for another teacher, and I had, you know, tickets to go to China in May, and I was thinking, okay, I can hang on to May. I've got a Hail Mary here that'll go to this retreat. And then the coronavirus happened, so that retreat got canceled, but I still had one booked for Ling and Lu for August. I was going to be there for 3 months with them, and I thought, I'm going to go all out. I'm either going to do this 100%, and I didn't want to travel because it's really hard to even get to the bathroom sometimes. So the idea of going away for 3 months was not ideal for me, even to try to pack and just, you know, all the other, what it takes just to fly. But I knew that my Hail Mary was going to be Ling and Lu for this 3 months. And then when all of this coronavirus happened, I was like, okay, can't do that. That's not going to happen. And so then from the inside out, we started just organizing classes, backpedaling, trying to get some of the other retreats that were happening in Australia together. And so we started presenting some of their work. And the only reason why we were all so blessed to come together and do this is because of coronavirus. So every time something's horrible, I know it's got a really amazing purpose. And that's what I trust all the time. And so when people say that they've got these conditions or that things are really bad, I can almost get really excited. And that's how I handled my first diagnosis was frontal temporal dementia with ALS. And at the time when I was first diagnosed, I was aggressive and violent, and I had apathy, and I was vicious, and I hated, and this ongoing frontal, like, you know, people are usually criminally, insanely strapped to a bed just with the frontal temporal, and it was very rapid. And then the ALS on top of it. And so I just had this, I knew the day that I got diagnosed, like, this is my perfect path or I wouldn't be on it. And I really dedicated it to the highest good. And I also knew I had had enough. And I was gonna, you know, I met with choice and compassion and death with dignity. Like, I didn't intend to go endgame. And that's what Qigong has done. It's been this divine contrail. Like, every time I hit a crescendo and it's so bad, a new teacher pops in from the Qi field that doesn't just help me, because it's never been about me, but it helps all of my Qi family and all of the people that we, each and every one of us, extend out to. And that to me has been the value of watching it. Like, this has never ever been about me individually, and never ever been about, I loved what Cynthia said, it's never been about curing the symptoms for me. It's been more of like, you know, watching this thing, like the horror show rears its ugly head, but then the divine information comes pouring in just as fast because of that trust and allowing and being okay with no outcome, you know. And so I really do advocate, like, not measuring and peeking and looking and, you know, and I think that the most amazing thing that I can say is that, you know, with that frontal lobe, after being the girl that would light up the room when I went somewhere, and then being the person that people were looking away from a couple of years ago when I had the hantavirus and the frontal lobe flared up really bad, and, you know, knowing that I was the person that I wouldn't want to be near on the street, like I was insane. And to go from that kind of behavior and thinking, and to have more medicine come in, another teacher, another teaching, and at the right time with Ling and Lu and each and every one of you, to come back to my heart space where I feel the information that Ling and Lu have given us with this changing your reference thinking. Like, I knew I was frontal, so I was always overanalyzing and feeling like I was doing something wrong and really trying so hard to keep that frontal animal down. And then just really falling into these new patterns of changing my reference framework and trusting myself and safer inside, and less unpredictable things that shocked and scared me came out of my mouth. And my behavior got more like I used to be. And I feel safer being me. My hands work where I don't drop everything, and so my stress level isn't so high because I'm breaking stuff all over my house or catching myself on fire or doing the things that I was doing. And, you know, through this process, I had gastroparesis for 19 months. I couldn't digest food, and that's healed. I had ulcerative colitis since I was in my 20s or 30s. That's healed. I got chronic autoimmune hives from a bunch of overdoses on iron transfusions in the beginning of the diagnosis. And I was told I'd be on Doctopen for the rest of my life. And even with dementia, I would never forget to take that pill because I would be breaking out like poison oak all over your body, huge welts. That's healed. I don't have to take that medication anymore. I'm off of all pharmaceutical medication. But all that is really like minor compared to the fact that I'm not I'm not saying horrible things to my daughter and my granddaughter. Like, they moved away. My fiance had to go. And I don't blame him. And I didn't even care because I had apathy for 2 years. It was like I just didn't care. I didn't feel. And I've always been such a cuddly, feely person. And it was such a contrast to just not care. And now my relationships have been completely restored. And that is a direct result of Zhineng Qi, and especially lately with this reborn. I feel safe with myself, and I just had to keep this pressure on. And what Ling said to me when I had this tremor, and it applies to everything, is don't push against it, because I so didn't want to be a frontal person. I wanted to be sweet Kelli. And the more I tried to put a lid on that, the pressure was boiling, and I could see why I had so much pain in my head. And my heart and my head just couldn't connect. And the pain in my head for the first time since 2012 I used to get a little relief for a moment in some parts, but it has been almost comfortable for several weeks now. And it's getting better and better every time I meditate. And it's getting better and better every time I practice. I had a blown out U station in my ear because of the temporal lobe has got the hearing cortex. And the U station, at the doctor, they can see it, and it's been just so excruciating nonstop for, I don't know however many years I've been involved with this, but it is not hurting right now. And I had a caved in, when we first started this course, I had a caved in thing in my jaw on this side, and I had to get this Botox because I couldn't chew food because everything would just crack and snap, and it was like broken glass all the time. And I went back to maxillofacial to get the Botox, and they didn't have to put in the Botox this time because it's gaining strength again and chewing again. These tubes where I couldn't feel, I can feel my neck, and I can feel the roof of my mouth, and my tongue was so crooked and intense, and it's softer. And this is just a little bit of what I've experienced with them. And I could go on and on and on. And the best part is that with all this organizing and all of this, our commitment to be together Monday through Thursday, with all the trauma that's going on, with all these fires and this hazardous smoke, and having friends that are, getting convoyed out in planes, and everyone I know in different towns, like, just on fire. I've been compassionate, yes, and praying, and including them in the Qi field, but every day, we get on our class at 5 p.m. We are doing the Qi field. We are bringing in the happiness and the trusting and the allowing, and it's been positive. It's just been the highlight of my day to be with every single one of you, and to be with Ling and Lu on the weekends, even though it's 5:30 in the morning, and it's been a bit of a challenge on that. But I could go on and on. I have a list of stuff that I could share, but you've got it. And I wouldn't do this alone. I wouldn't. And so I'm just grateful for Ling and Lu, and I'm grateful for the coronavirus. And I really feel so abundant. Like, I had so much lack consciousness because my ability, I couldn't even use my hands. And I just feel like everything's going to work out. And before, I used to think, well, I think I'm probably going to have to take myself out pretty soon because I can't figure out how I'm going to take care of myself, and I don't want to be a burden. That's kind of where I was, and I don't feel that way. Like, I have a knowing inside. Like, I've seen the Qi field pop in a miracle after a miracle after a miracle enough, and I've had enough conversations where I've shared the shadows with you guys individually, and Adrian and other people have coached me, Zane, have coached me, and so this is a family, and I'm just, for our little breakout family, and for the divine intelligence that's given these videos and these information to share, to try to help the new people and try to enhance the old timers with our our practice, to me, have enhanced my practice so much. So I'm just so, it's been fun, it's been easy, it hasn't been hard. Before, when I organized, I would feel my shoulder would feel like it's, you know, it's just on fire, and I would, you know, for days after I do some typing, I don't hurt when I do the typing, and I can say no when I don't want to do something. So I've learned all of that and so much more, and each and every one of you is a piece of me, and I'm just so incredibly grateful for everything that we've done together, and we will do a lot more. So thanking our teachers and thanking each other, and thanking Dr. Pong for just doing this and for encouraging those teachers to bring this information to us. And I think it's at a time when it's seemingly a tough time, but I think it's a time where it's very exciting, and it's the perfect time because the information is coming in exactly as we need it to heal ourselves and to heal others and to heal the world one by one and collectively. So I bow to all of you and to Ling and Lu. Hello. Does anyone have anything that they feel like they want to close with, or a burning desire that they want to add, because this is the time to share with your teachers? Any final?
Just one more thing. I'm incredibly grateful. I don't know whether I said that before, but as I gave my testimonial, but this lot of gratitude to all of you, Kelli. You're just been such a wonder with this, getting this class going. I'm so grateful. I look forward to it all the time. And yes, so thank you.
I want to add something. By listening to all of you, I got the courage so I can talk in front of you. I just want to say to you, must be destiny for me. I was born in Romania. I moved in former Yugoslavia. Then from former Yugoslavia, I come to Australia. And then reborn happened. It was a message on WhatsApp that our group is going to be, it was in Mexico with Renata, and then I meet Kelli. So, and I joined you, Kelli, and all of you, and must be destiny. Otherwise, I don't know how should I say, I am here from all over the world, meeting all of you. I don't know how to express myself, because the framework is still here. I still have problems to explain myself and to find the courage, you know, to talk with all of you, because when I moved from one country to another, I had to learn the languages. And like a teenager, everybody was laughing at me, you know, when I was speaking. So, sorry, I found it emotional, but it helped me a lot, you know, to even to find a little bit of courage and talk in front of all of you. And when the first time I heard about no reborn, about Lu and Ling from Sahaja, I did a course in April in Perth, and I know that it is what I was looking for my life. I did Qigong 12 years altogether, and like Lu and Ling was saying to us, that you can practice, but I was just practicing because I didn't know anything else. It's just practice, and you expect, you know, something to happen, but not much was happening. And here you go. I am here with you, all of you, and with the group, 500 people. We are all together. So I want to express my gratitude to the teachers, to you, Kelli, and you all of my new group, my new family, and I don't know how much I'm expecting every morning. 8 o'clock to pop up and see you and be with you. And I thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. It's beautiful. Okay, anything else that somebody feels like they want to sneak in there? Well, howla, it's honored. Thank you guys so much. Wanyan Ling Tong, Aaron, Wanyan Ling Tong Vivi, Wanyan Ling Tong Annie, Wanyan Ling Tong Jeremy, Wanyan Ling Tong Adrian, Wanyan Ling Tong Cynthia, Wanyan Ling Tong Zane, Wanyan Ling Tong Brenda, Wanyan Ling Tong Goli, Wanyan Ling Tong Tammy, and Wanyan Ling Tong Christina, and Ling and Lu, and our whole big global Qi family, and all the humans on this planet right now. Allah, thank you. See you tomorrow. Should we all do a 1, 2?
Thank you.
Unmute. Okay, Annie unmute, Adrian unmute, Aaron, if you want, Jeremy. Okay, 1, 2.
Allah.
Right, guys. Soon. Thank you again.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you. Night. Bye
Night,
bye.
night.